listening to Party Time, My Golf Story with Kevin Walsh and whatever special guest he has today. You can check me out on episode 9 of the podcast. Today I'm wearing Grayson clothes while I'm out practicing because I believe in look good, play good. And follow me on Instagram, Sophia Warren Golf, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
It's Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks. Classically designed golf drinks for golfers by golfers. And the golf real estate pros Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro. For your Southwest Florida real estate needs, check them out at suncoastdreams.com. Now here's your host, Kevin Walsh.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the program here. We are back in-house where the podcast usually originates from after a couple of shows on the road. I was actually on the road only for 3 days, but I recorded 2 programs in Ledger, Connecticut, but we're back in the home studio at Lakewood National Golf Club. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to be breaking news today in a couple different ways, one of which is the recording date of the show and the time. It's going to blow you away once we get into it with our guest, Terrie Purdum, who is the publisher of Golf Central magazine and is also the founder of TurfLife. Golf Central magazine, we'll get into the genesis of how it started, what it is, what it hopes to accomplish, and what exactly is TurfLife. We'll get into that. And who is Terrie Purdum? Don't you want to know? Talk about a sonic boom, a pioneer, a survivor in many ways, and a very strong female presence in the golf world. Terrie Purdum. Before we go any further, would you do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the podcast and like the podcast, because the nerds at Google, at YouTube, at Spotify, and everybody else, they love that stuff. And that's important to our title sponsors. Speaking of that, big thanks to Party Drinks. If you're looking for a drink alternative on the golf course, try a Party. For golfers, by golfers. Transfusion, far and away, number one. Stop drinking crappy stuff on the golf course. Drink the good stuff. And I'll have news about a new client coming on board shortly coming up. And if your dream is to live on a golf course or in a golf resort-like community like Lakewood National Golf Club, where this podcast originates from, nobody better than the golf real estate pros of Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro from suncoastdreams.com, a division of fine properties in the greater Sarasota area. So that's the preamble. Let's bring the star of the show on board. Here is Terrie Purdum from Golf Central magazine. Terrie, it's good to see you at any hour. Do you want to break the news about what time we're actually recording this?
Early. It's fantastically early. It's like 4:27 Eastern Standard.
Okay, who's the golf sicko who thought this was a good idea to record in the 4 a.m. hour on a Thursday morning?
It's us. I think it's fabulous. Hey, those golf course superintendents and the grounds crew keepers are out there already prepping this properties for all of us to enjoy. So I have mad respect.
And I do as well. And I actually like being up early. The first 10, 15 minutes hurt, but once you get rolling, I love it. I feel like I'm running laps around the world. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. It feels like you're ahead of the game a little bit. You're already checking all of the different feeds on Facebook, which, you go down that rabbit hole and you start watching reels. I think funny cats and dogs can get me distracted, though. Those reels, those funny videos. Which is, also men and women mowing grass. I don't know why I'm addicted.
Oh, man, you are deep into the turf life and you're into stuff. I'm with you on the funny animal stuff, German Shepherds, because I have a German Shepherd. So I can't get enough of the stuff.
People love dogs on the course, canines on the course. And we love to feature those because I have some superintendents who call me and say, my dog gets more presents from the members at Christmas than I do. They know his name. They know her treats. It's such a fantastic collection of wonderful people that make up our world in this industry. And dogs are part of it. So
no question about it. If there's a better place than the golf course for a dog, I don't know where that place would be. In fact, 2 of the clubs that I caddied at up north, Wellesley Country Club and the Country Club in Brookline, all the superintendents had dogs. The dogs were along for the ride because the dog feels like it's going. I mean, every dog wants a purpose, right? The dog feels like it's going to work. It's hanging out with its owner, its handler. And then the members, the golfers, they love seeing a dog because so many people have dogs. I love that. But take me back to the roots. I look at you and what you're doing at Golf Central magazine. Number one, you're a pioneer. That's how I look at it. And a survivor. Not many golf magazines still in print, but take me back to the beginning. How did this all start?
Like most of my stories, it was a man. I had a business with my ex-husband for 14 years. We actually owned a franchise called Solar Graphics. Richard Purdum and I developed this very cool concept of energy-saving window designs with window film. More his concept than mine. I just came in as the marketing end of it. And when I left that marriage and that business, I was like, I love marketing. I like showing people how to help promote their businesses because I was doing storefront windows for people. And I got into it's kind of a lawn and landscape marketplace magazine, learned all about the turf industry and all the equipment that it takes, the irrigation, the chemicals, the John Deeres, the Kubotas, all those people that are in that industry. And then got into the turf world, turf grass industry, then lifestyle, started working for a Florida retirement lifestyle magazine. And I had a blast. I was traveling all over the state of Florida, going to all these active adult communities. And guess what? The number one amenity, golf, security, fishing. So anglers and golfers, all the same. They love that community style. But when I started feeling like I wanted to get into golf a little bit more, and I opened up a golf shop in Winter Park, Florida, and moved out of the St. Pete area. And it was, I'm going to buy some advertising. Is it Orlando Sentinel or Golfer's Guide? But I'm already publishing all magazines with these people. The name of the business was Profit Makers. So I could take on any program for any tournament and help, enhance the revenue streams there. And then we would do, just regular publications too. I rep a lot of different magazines just on my business. And I said, I'm doing this. Why don't I do it for my company, for Golf Addict? And had a couple thousands in the bank. And I decided to go ahead and do my own because Orlando Sentinel was ridiculous money, the cost. And we kind of figured out from the people who would come in the golf shop what would be cool ideas. And they'll tell you if you ask, old guys coming in after 18 holes. Hey, Mr. Jones, what's a good idea for a golf magazine that would be fun? Is Cart Girl of the Month okay? And they would go, some people would go, oh, no, that's too sexist. You can't do that. And then 80% of the people said, oh, my gosh, they deserve that, the feather in their cap. So that's how it all started.
I had no idea. Well, no, I mean, that's fascinating. I was kind of anticipating that like a lot of people, you start golf at a young age, somebody put a club in your hand, but it almost sounds like the business end of it led to the golf end of it. But whatever, you're in the middle of it. How's it going? How are you surviving when we see so many golf magazines going out of print, everybody going online? You've done that too. That's necessary, but you're still beholden to print.
Well, it's, what, I can tell you the only reason that there's a success story in any golf publication is to keep publishing. And the only reason I keep publishing is because I have an amazing staff. I am so grateful. I wake up every day with gratitude for the people that make this happen. And I'm talking about stuff that we've been through. My editor-in-chief, Shannon Coates, everybody knows Shannon. If she plays golf or not, if you're in the golf industry and you don't know who Shannon Coates is, there's something wrong. If you're in a PR firm, an advertising agency, and you make this happen, you know who Shannon Coates is. She's been with me. It'll be 24 years on the 21st of June. And then Milan Cable, my designer, she's been with me 24 years. We have consistent writing people that, when they're good and they like it and they stay with it, they just stay and they want to make it happen. It's like a little, I don't know if I want to call it a family, but it is, because we all love each other and we survived hurricanes, 9/11, losses of some of our favorite people that have been on staff. We've learned so much together. And when you survive the people who went online, I used to go, oh my God, that's so lazy. And I got a little obstinate redneck in me sometimes. That little girl comes out and says, I can do this better than, you just want to do it. And so we're always going to print something because the people who are featured want a hard copy. And I have a hard time telling people I can help them with just the online presence without handing them something and seeing it in golf goodie bags for charity events. We love that distribution. That's been a really cool thing for us to learn over the 26 years. Don't just throw magazines out at a pro shop or men's locker room. I don't go in the men's locker room most of the time and distribute, but I'll send somebody. I'll say it's Calvin. But yeah, we learned that if they want a prize for the tournament, goodie bags are always the best place. And then you bump the sponsors in the future after. We cover more charity golf events than any publication in the country. And oh, by the way, the only woman published golf magazine in the world for 26 years.
Good for you. Terrie Purdum is our guest here.
Kind of fun to say.
A lot of work, but a lot of fun, and just the fact that you have a good staff and you've struggled together. I mean, it just reminds me, when people struggle together, they have bonds that are unbreakable, and there's no greater bond than war buddies. I mean, and everybody knows that. That's just a fact. Terrie Purdum is our guest here on Party Time, my golf story, brought to you by Party Drinks. If you're looking for an alternative on the golf course, try a Party. And if you're in the golf industry and you don't know, if you don't have Party, by the way, Paradise Craft Distributors is the exclusive distributor of Party across the state of Florida. And if your dream is to live on a golf course, then there's nobody better than the golf real estate pros at suncoastdreams.com. Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro got you all taken care of on that. Terrie, you cracked me up with the redneck comment, and I want to go in. I want to dig a little bit deeper on that. What's the backstory? Where are you from? The hometown. What was life growing up where you did?
Okay, I'll try to do the abridged version. Small town, East Tennessee, little town called Sunbright. Still a lot of people in my family there, but below and above ground, actually, lots of them. And moved to Florida when I was 17. Moved to Florida to meet my real father, actually. And I came from a small town, and I'm talking, to real small. Like there's one red light now, I think, and that's just recent. But when you move away from a place like that and you come to Florida and you go, oh my gosh, my backstory doesn't mean it. I don't have to identify myself by any kind of past. I can come to Florida and be anybody I want. It's like people that come from other countries and come to America and go, oh my gosh, I can do this. I can be whoever I want to be. I can speak what I want. I can make this happen. And then moved to Florida at, like I said, 17, and absolutely fell in love with the beaches and, listening to Jimmy Buffett. And oh my gosh, it was heaven. You could just, everything was right there for you to do and make and to be enterprising. So that's how that story was.
But you had to get after it. You had to start earning really quickly, and you're highly motivated. And there were a number of reasons for it. Why don't we get into that?
Oh, you mean, okay. So I was a very young mother, and I attribute that to half of my gumption. My daughter was born when I was 15. It's crazy that she's only 15 years younger than me. We're like sisters sometimes. And she is an amazing person for all kinds of reasons. We grew up together. But when you learn that you're going to have another person to be responsible for at that early age, you have to go to the PTA meeting. You have to have the clean house and the clean car and the food and the look right and the dress right. And you've got to make that person see the best of the world so they aspire for that. So you really got to get it. And I mean, anybody that thinks that getting pregnant at an early age is doom and gloom, nay, it's just the opposite. It's what should motivate you to be and show show up and show out and be the best you can for that person. And I think that's kind of what, motivated that. If that's the story that, and I know some people know, and then some people were like, oh my God, that was horrible. It wasn't. It was wonderful. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'd probably be living under a bridge, eating out of a dumpster, or on a pole somewhere at the Pink Pony Club if I hadn't had a child at an early age. That's it. So.
Well, necessity is the mother of all invention, but the you have a fire that continues to this day. I mean, I could just feel it screaming through the screen. And when we've talked on the phone and everything, you just got a passion for stuff. Let's talk about the golf. Like, when did you start playing? How did that happen? And you got pretty good pretty fast, didn't you?
Yes, I did. And I tell you what, it was in my 30s. And when you go, because I twirled when I was in school. I was a twirler, majorette, and everybody played basketball in Tennessee. Pat Summitt. Everybody knows who Pat Summitt is. All the women play basketball. Everybody's basketball. And I saw this game and I went, oh my goodness, you can play outside. Look, you can see the birds and the alligators and the deer and everything that we have out there that's so amazing to share. And I went, that's where I want to be. I want to be on a sport where you go out into the wilderness. It's not like hunting. You're not going out there to shoot something. Yes, I grew up with that and, shot skeet and stuff like that. But the environment and the atmosphere is what I really fell in love with first. It was like, oh my goodness, this is the most sculpted, beautiful landscape that anybody could ask to play a sport on. It's not a court, it's not this little confined thing. And then the architects that the designers that build these courses, they know how to take you there and bring you through. And I love that aspect of it too. Hats off to every architect out there, all of the famous people that I've been able to learn and live and see. And, it's just pretty cool.
The playing part of it, though.
Pardon me?
And the playing part of golf and the competitive part, when did that come into the picture?
Not really been that competitive with the game. I have fun. I really work this game a lot better than I play it. And everybody knows that I'm, 2009 Amateur of the Year, thanks to the North Florida PGA section and chapter. My other was hanging up there. It's really it was never about my playing prowess, Kevin. It's always been what I did for the industry. And I love that someone will give you an award for what you've done for their, the section in the chapter and elevating them and their people. So my competitive spirit on golf has really been making this magazine help other people promote what they do, promote themselves. Everybody deserves the shine, the shine. That's what we want to think. And then thriving is my letter from the publisher in January was thrive in 25, because I'm always corny and as gay as I can be about, rhyming and something like that. I love it. I love the cornball stuff. But when you tell other people that it's okay to promote themselves in a publication and they realize that they're, like some people, guys will be, oh, no, I don't want to be featured as the golf bachelor. But secretly, then they'll come and go, I thought about it. And I should probably do that so my mom's proud of me. So that's kind of what the magazine and the world that we live in helps me do as far as competing, I should say.
I love that. The shine. And you mentioned The Bachelor. I want to get into that. The features that you have are, I look at them, I'm like, man, this is ballsy for a golf magazine, but I love it. So you have a Bachelor in which you profile a person. And I got to tell you, I've seen the guys, they're handsome as hell. And then you have a Bachelorette, stunning. You have a cart girl. What's the genesis behind it? Did you look at it and say, this is kind of a gag? Was it one of the members at your club saying, try this, and you're like, why the hell not? Was it saleable?
Oh gosh, no. You know what it was for me? The first time that I went on a golf course and a lovely hostess came up to me, I was at Grand Cypress, I'll never forget. And I'm like, look at this gal out here. And I think the weather was a little inclement at the time, so I was going, and she's out here serving drinks for people who are out here playing this amazing game. And I went, you need to be featured. This is fabulous. And she's like, oh, no, I'm just the cart girl. And from that moment on, I said, no, that person deserves, because the head pros, they always get their heyday. The people who are doing all those other jobs in the industry, they always get recognized. So that young lady needs to be recognized. She's out there, making us all feel good. And when we see her come on now, gotta love the cart girl coming up.
And tell me, what has that done for cart girls? Has that boosted their business? I imagine it's help their self-esteem. Yeah. It makes them feel like a rock star.
My cart girls, okay? She's going to sign autographs in this copy of the magazine that I make sure they get a bunch of copies. So people ask me, how are the magazines distributed every month? And I like to say, if you're featured in the magazine, you're going to get copies of the magazine if you want hard copies. But those girls, oh yeah, they always say, I love being the cart girl. And the members said, oh, I saw you featured in the magazine. Their moms call us, their grandmothers and grandfathers are like, thank you so much for recognizing her and the job that she does out there. And besides that, they're adorable. And it takes all kinds, Kevin. We have had some really funny answers over the year. One of our questions is, what's the worst and best pickup lines? And I mean, we've lost our cookies laughing under the desk, laughing at some of the answers.
Okay, yeah, let's go. Give me some of the best and worst.
Okay, this is a little creepy, but also a little fun. So one of the questions is, what's the funniest thing that people say to you on the court? And this one girl from, I'll say Mission, I won't say the rest of it. She said she has a regular group, and the one guy in the group, he's the funny guy. He's the one who always tries to make people laugh. He's always trying to flirt a little bit. And he goes to the back of his cart on his clubs and says, does this towel smell like chloroform to you? Okay, a little creepy, a little funny, and it was like, okay, that was before human trafficking was a thing. It was actually kind of funny back in the day, but those are some. And then are you just like, are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see. All those stock word
Oh,
lines. Those are fun and cute, but some of the girls' answers are just way. I mean, some we can't publish. That's how genuinely fun they want to be, and they send the greatest pictures.
I
And
do
again, it
too.
takes all kinds. We've had Cart Girls nominated because they donated blood for one of the members that, could possibly have saved their lives. So that's always a groovy thing to, be a part of.
That's cool. I got a great pickup line story. Well, it wasn't a pickup, but it was kind of a hit on flirting with story. Won't name the place, but the cart girl was very cute girl. And a guy that I was with, he walked up, saw her and goes, I want to meet your mom. That's pretty good, isn't it? Because he's complimenting her, saying, "Hey, you're pretty, but you're a little too young for
It's
me."
too young. Yeah, I love it.
It made her day. It
Yeah.
made her day. So tell me about the bachelors and the bachelorettes. Has the publicity led to any good romance stories as a result of your coverage in the
You know
magazine?
what? I always tell Todd Lewis from the Golf Channel when we featured him, I'm like, you're welcome. Look at this beautiful bride that you got not long after you were featured, Todd. And it's led to some love on the links, and we've called it that. And we've actually done the feature after the fact. But I love golf and dating and people who are meeting because of the industry. Like somebody will meet the food and beverage manager and they're the golf course superintendent or the head pro. And before you know it, it's love on the links and they're married and having children and it's a great story. But yeah, the unique features that we have is what makes us, of course, set apart from the national publications that still exist that are a little bit more staunch, a little bit more buttoned up. And we like to be folks. We like the fun, comfortable feeling of that. We want golf to be more like that for people. So that's part of the mission too. The Golf Bachelor features have been just, again, some answers that will make you laugh until you cry. Some that will make you cry because they're so heartfelt. Always, the respect for their mom. Who do you respect the most for the inner and outer beauty? Boxer briefs or commando? That's one of the favorite questions that's answered. They answer that too. Yeah, they do. But the guys need to be recognized too because they're in the pro shop or they're selling Oakley sunglasses. We've done it's all kinds of people. It could be a member. It could be, and everyone deserves to be recognized for something like that. So
What I think it is? It satisfies a curiosity. The human condition is we're all curious about everybody, and if you can scratch that itch and say, "Hey, there's more to the cart girl, the guy in the shop, or whatever," you're in the right lane, Terry. I really think you are. That's cool stuff. So, tell me about TurfLife. What is it? How was it founded? What are you looking to accomplish?
Well, originally, Richard, the very first issue, April 1st, 1999, we did a feature. And a dear friend, Joel Jackson, he's in California now. Hello, Joel. He'll be watching. He wrote these Disney-esque kind of, teaching people about what it takes to maintain a golf course. And that's what we were trying to do, educate the consumer about the men and women behind the scenes. And it's a very, very important matter. And now, Kevin, you see all kinds of publications taking the lead and doing that and recognizing them and saying, oh, and this is the reason that grass is like that. I mean, if you're on a committee at a private club and you're on the greens committee, but you're, a retired gynecologist, you want to act like you know what kind of turf that is and why it's growing like that and why it's irrigating like that. And a lot of people actually are learning more and more and more now. And there's actually some programs up north that a guy started, Ryan Crossover, called The First Green, where he's educating children like the first tee and bringing them up. And they all play golf too. But that back in the day, it was not as prevalent. And Joel Jackson wrote that first feature, and we called it Live Golf because we wanted people to know that chemicals are not going to kill, and golf courses are not bad for the environment. Matter of fact, our little slogan was "Golf does a planet good," and we made that little golf balls with the planet. And I don't know if you remember the milk campaign, "Milk does a body good," but we took a little smiley face like that and put it on our Golf does a planet good, and it was live golf. And if you look at the word live golf, it also says live golf. So live and live it just depends on how you say the word. And that's where TurfLife was evolved from. And I got the trademark June 2nd, 2015. So there's my trademark behind me. I'm very proud of that accomplishment.
You should be. And you have all different products and everything. I've seen them online. You've got ball mark fixers and everything. You got clothing lines. And I mean, it's a fashion statement too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And again, it's a pride thing. If you look on the decals, a lot of people go, "Oh, it's like Salt Life." It is a lot like Salt Life, and Salt Life is, they did, $687 million in sales in 2023. So, and they did end up giving back. And one of the things we wanted to do was give back with TurfLife. So every decal that was sold, we were giving back to EREF, Environmental Research and Education Foundation, headed up back then by Matt Caraway. And now the decals are a part of life. People put, my kids, the student of the year or something like that on their car. Or if you're a Marine or whatever you want to tell people driving down the road on your car, you'll put a decal on it or on your cart. Or, it's on my phone case. Everybody has a phone on the golf course. Every maintenance person, irrigation people. And this is such a clicky, wonderful world, this turf life. It's not just golf, it's equestrian. Did you know that the equestrian sports are considered a turf sport? I didn't before I got the trademark. I figured that out. And the turf club is where they go after the Derby, synonymous with bourbon and champagne. So I like that part of it. Baseball, football, lacrosse, anything played on turf. Polo, of course, is another equestrian sport. But men and women that maintain those turf surfaces, people that play those surfaces, because those guys don't have jobs if we don't play those games. And it all goes together. So we do have a lot of stuff. And if they go to turflifeclub.com, which by the way is on your banner down there. Thank you so much, Kevin, for doing that. I'm so grateful for this.
Let me show that again. Oh, come on. You're good content. You're a great guest. I knew you'd be a fabulous guest, and you have been. Terrie Purdum, by the way, is the publisher of Golf Central magazine and also the founder of TurfLifeClub.com, scrolling across the bottom. Fascinating person. So tell me a story. Give me a couple go-to stories about people in the industry that we would know, professional golf or whoever it is, that just always go over well when you're having a cocktail or something and somebody's like, what? Wow.
It's the easiest one, Kevin, and anybody who's met him is going to tell you the way he made you feel, and that's Arnold Palmer. He changed, I'm so green. I know nothing. I'm just like selling and doing and promoting advertising and putting this, thing together, gathering content. And when I saw him the first time and I saw Arnold Palmer reading my magazine, and he was looking at the Cart Girl page. And I said, "What do you think?" And he turned to me and did one of those thumbs up guys. It changed my life. I was like, God, Robert just gave me a thumbs up because of my little. And then, I got to talk to him on a regular. He knew me and he was so genuine and so cool. He would talk to the maintenance people and the staff people, just like he would talk to Jack Nicklaus. He was such a cool person. The way he made you feel. And which, by the way, I have a friend who's doing a composition, hopefully composing a song, the way he made you feel. I won't tell any of the lyrics, but it does have, tee it up in the cup because of the Arnold Palmer iced tea. Some of the lyrics that we're thinking, anybody who wants to call in your show and give us some lyrics, or because he does deserve a song named after him, and it should be played everywhere all the time. So, especially Bay Hill.
We have a drink that essentially is an Arnold Palmer. It's the half and half. It's lemonade and iced tea. We just can't call it the Arnold Palmer. There are plenty of others that have that, but Party has its own version of that. Terrie, we're getting winding things down a little bit, and I got to bounce because I got to go on a loop a little bit later. How important? Profound question here, and I'm sure there's a profound answer. How important is golf to you in your life?
I wake up every day thinking about how this industry is what it is. Some stats on this. I don't know if you read the National Golf Foundation stuff that came out. The charitable function of this game is like no other. It's unrivaled. Up 18% last year. $4.6 billion was raised via the game of golf. And that's just the ones that we know about. Those aren't every little tournament that raised money to help somebody. So that's the aspect. I'm not going to be a nurse. They don't let you drink at lunch. I'm not an MIT engineer grad. My job is to create fun, but it's philanthropic. Our tagline is turf, travel, philanthropy, lifestyle, because this is the givingest game out there. So it is important. like I said, I'm not going to be saving lives. If this is the best I can do, if I get hit by the bus tomorrow, I'm going to be okay with what we've done, what we've accomplished to help, create charity events. And may I, real quick, before we have to go,
Of course.
I'm going to pimp the brand a little bit. We are doing a subscription drive, and there's a barcode that you can find right there. And we're giving away these awesome Max golf bags logo. They got this really cooler concept on the inside, and we have this penned product, which is first class. These people are from Maine. I think that's where Partee is also, right?
Partee is distributed. It's made in Medfield, Mass. Then it's shipped down to Florida, but it's all New England. That's the way we look at it.
Yeah, it's New England, and these cats are from there too. Unbelievable, young, innovative. So this is the Spark speaker. You can see it's got the TurfLife logo on it. So for everybody it's free to subscribe to the magazine online. We are trying to, like the answer to your question earlier, the online presence is bigger than the print right now, Kevin. It has to be. So we're growing that and growing it. We have this sound stick, which is a Mac Daddy speaker, and all of this stuff is magnetic, so it goes on the golf cart. And then, pardon me for turning, the penned rangefinder. And this one was number one of the show at the PGA show this year. So the golf bags, all this stuff we've given away, oh my gosh, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff in the last 3 months for just people that subscribe. Oh, I got time for a cute story?
You do. Let's get
okay.
Yeah.
So
stick that landing.
Resort, pardon me?
Stick that landing.
We are at Reunion Resort, Shannon Coates, my editor-in-chief, who I love so much. Oh my God, I can't say enough. We're at Reunion Resort for our 26-year anniversary party, meeting with Paul Barrett, the marketing dude down there. And there's this table of like all these beautiful women, a beautiful African-American group of women that are just having fun. They're all dressed and they look so cool. So my go-to was always to go over and say, hey, let me take a picture of you ladies all together. They couldn't have been more excited. And I said, I've got this speaker. So if you've got any kind of party competitions or anything you're running, all I'm asking you to do is subscribe to the magazine. Before I could get the words out of my mouth and get the pictures, they're on their phones subscribing to the magazine. 12 women across the country are subscribing. So their feature is going to be in the next issue. And they got one of the dark speakers to give away at their game night during their stay at Reunion. So those are the kind of organic, authentic, meet somebody, feel cool. And they're like, oh, they're going to be in the magazine. And we just met them and they won something. They all subscribed. So kind of cool that happens in our world.
Everybody, man, you are a marketing machine, Terrie Purdum. I enjoyed our conversation immensely, especially the Arnold Palmer story and the train cart girl, because those of us who knew Arnold, he would love something like that. And he was unashamed to admit it. And the thumbs up. You got the thumbs up. Gonna give you a thumbs up. Let's keep in touch. All right, Terrie.
Okay, thank you again for this opportunity at this hour. I guess I can go back and take a nap before the day gets going. No, I'm just kidding.
While you're taking a nap, like do a double nap, like on my behalf, so I'll vicariously take a nap with you. I guess I'm on the road. I got to get out of town here, but really enjoyed it. You're a fascinating person. Thank you for all you do for the golf industry, and keep charging along. Keep shining.
All right, we're getting Partee on the carts. Yes.
Yes, love it.
On the cart, the cart girl Partees.
Yes.
Right.
Terrie Purdum has been our guest here on Partee Time, My Golf Story, publisher of Golf Central magazine and also the founder of TurfLifeClub.com. For more information on her, check her out online. Very easy to find. And a big thanks to our title sponsors, Partee Drinks. Looking for an alternative on a golf course? Try Partee. And a big thanks to the Golf Real Estate Pros of Gene Walsh and Vince Fizzicaro from SuncoastDreams.com, a division of fine properties in the greater Sarasota area. For Terrie Purdum, I'm Kevin Walsh. We'll see you again next time on Partee Time, My Golf Story.
You've been listening to It's Partee Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Partee Drinks. Classically designed golf drinks for golfers by golfers, and the golf real estate pros Gene Walsh and Vince Fizzicaro. For your Southwest Florida real estate needs, check them out at SuncoastDreams.com or call 941-220-4000.